What's up, comic fam? Comic fans, and welcome to new comic to Welcome to New Comic Book Day Live. That's not the actual name of the show. It's New Comic Book Day Y, right? With comic news. All right, so let us go and get into the news. All right, so this fresh out of DC, let's take a look at what they got. All right, so DC has got a little, I guess, treat for us this weekend with Batman Day. Batman. And this is Saturday, September 20th. Batman Day arrives. And yeah, I'm in. I'm in for this. Let's see, what do we got? So if you're going to be in the Warner Brothers studio tour Hollywood area, Batman Day will have like a little one-day setup that you can go visit, which seems pretty awesome. The Warner Brothers studio tour Hollywood. It's a little immersive stuff. That's pretty dope. They're also going to have, as we scroll down soon, the Batman comic books. As I just look up something real quick. So yeah, they're going to have some Batman comic books. I was trying to look up to see. I don't think there's any free books coming out for Batman Day. Now, don't quote me on this. I could be totally off kilter with this, or off the script with this. But they're going to have a couple of Batman Day books, including an 11 by 17. So the 11 by 17 is pretty large. It is a pretty large book, which is it's just hard to find a place to put those. I've seen them, I just don't get them. They're extremely large, but it's supposed to be from the artist's kind of perspective. So the artists work on these big 11 by 17 pages, and then they are shrunk down for the comic consumer, right? They're made smaller. So this is the art as it is drawn to scale. So that's pretty dope that they'll have these 11 by 17. It'll be the Absolute Batman #1. And the 11 by 7 reproduction will be black and white. Kind of, so here it says Nick Dragotta's original art in DC Absolute Batman #1. Let's see what else. They have new printings of Absolute Batman #1, including a blank sketch cover and a foil variant cover, and then you have the oversized cover, which will be the black and white one. There will be a Batman Day edition of Batman and Robin Year One with Mark Waid and Chris Samney working on that. And Batman Year 2, #1, Mike Barr, Alan Davis. And then you'll have the facsimile edition of 1940s Batman #1 by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson. And that will be available with its original cover, a blank sketch cover, and a foil variant cover. Very cool. DC Infinite will put in front of the paywall, right, some free content for Batman Day. So awesome. Lego Batman will have some freebies if you have a WB Games account. Batfam will have a little Prime Video And there'll be some other stuff. Warner Brothers Games on HBO Max. They'll have some movies that you can peruse. They'll have a whole bat themed movie section. There'll be some Batman themed product launches. So, with Spin Master, Mattel, and Lego to promote Batman exclusive merchandise. Spin Master debuts ninja themed action figures, including 30-centimeter Batman and the Joker ninja figures, and 15-centimeter articulate characters with accessories and attack features. What's up, Sean Marlowe? Shamalo in the house. What is up? How we doing today? I hope you're doing awesome. Hope you're having a great day. We're just going over some of the stuff for Batman Day right now. So I know some people, some of my friends didn't know that this Saturday is Batman Day. And comic shops will have Batman gear. HBO Max will have Batman, just some Bat movies out there. If you're in the Hollywood area, Warner Brothers Studios will have a kind of a Batman tour happening, like live tour, which is cool. If you play games, Injustice 2 Mobile and DC Worlds Collide will give you some free in-game content. Also, we have the DC Studios Showcase podcast here. Bat Fam will have a little preview on Prime Video. Right, that's an animated series coming out, I think later this year. Lego Batman will be including some items if you have a WB Games account. Right, DC Universe Infinite will put certain Batman books in front of a paywall, so you can check it out. Oh man, I'm sorry to laugh. It's when you added the not intentionally though, because I've seen, as you've seen it, sometimes when there's these gimmicks, if you will, there are people out there, content creators, who will intentionally destroy these items. So I had to. It just came out, but I had to chuckle at it because I was like, oh, okay, you did that. And then it was the not intentionally though, and that just made me chuckle. I'm sorry that happened though. That sucks because they did carry a premium price on the blind bags too, right? I think they were $10. I've seen them now for $15. So that's rough. Sorry to hear that. Destroying the Batman. Well, if anything, you can always make content out of it. You can show us what it looks like. Unless you already did, in which case I'm going to need to go check it out just to see what kind of destruction we're talking about. I mean, it really is just a comic. I guess some of the comics are all of them are cardstock, I do believe, in the blind bag. So that's some good destruction there. Not that it's not easy to bend the cardstock comic, but it takes a little bit more effort than the tissue paper that they make Marvel books out of. I bought today's Deadpool Batman comic that came out, and I was disappointed in the quality, like the paper. And yeah, that's not also just not to mention the actual stuff on the inside, which was okay. I showed it on Show Us What You Got. Scissors cut through the. Oh no! Oh man! Oh, that's rough. Now I have to go back and watch that. Yeah, I've been getting home a little bit too late to catch a Show Us What You Got. But oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That's so so rough. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the kind of mistake that you make once, and then you probably don't make it again because you realize that your brain the next time you go to cut something out of a bag is going to be like, push it down and let's make sure everything is sealed properly. It's one of those, like everybody else is like, it's not bad, and you're like, no, I know, I trimmed just a little bit off, just enough. Like, did you have like just a thin strip of the cover or of the comic, like just the littlest? That, oh man, I'm sorry. And like you said, other people may not notice it, but you did it, so you'll always know it's there, and you'll always see it more than somebody else. Naman's in the house. What's up, Naman? How you doing today? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. Kenneth Bird is in the house. What's up, Bird man? And then I cut down the spine about an inch. An inch is actually pretty, I mean, man, that is a pretty good cut. So, oh man. Yeah, an inch is noticeable. I mean, maybe somebody else won't notice it if you're holding it up like this, but an inch that's more than what do they call it? The candlestick tears that sometimes occur from how they hang the comics to dry on the cover side of the spine. Huh. Oh man, it just gets better and better. I'm so sorry that happened to you, John. Oh man. But like I said, like you do that once and you really won't do it again. It's like one of those things that happens, and then it's kind of ingrained in you. Like next time you go to do something, you're going to be like, I'm going to be super safe with this. Yeah. So yeah, guys, we just went through some Batman Day stuff. I also did this on my Monday show, but Batman Day is this Saturday. All right. Also for Batman Day, they will be teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club, and they're gonna have some online activities and stuff like that. So they are definitely giving back to the community, which is good, which is awesome. Discovery, is also part of Warner Brothers now, and Discovery does a lot of educational stuff, right? I mean, they do Shark Week, but in all seriousness, they are trying to give back a little bit, at least, to the community. So that's pretty cool. There's going to be some Batman Day stuff. Obviously, they have the hashtag Batman Day. So if you want to look on the socials for it, go ahead and look on their hashtag Batman Day. Let's see, what does this button do? Obviously, let's see. I clicked on the button. Obviously, they have Batman Day gear. So, but here you go, Batman. So, guys, if you haven't had a chance yet to read Absolute Batman, read episode 1 for free, or issue 1. Again, for Batman Day, they're going to take things from behind the paywall. So if you don't have DC Infinite, they're going to put Batman stuff in front of a paywall, so you can go to the DC, DC Infinite.com on your PC, or probably on your mobile phone, or download the app, from what I understand, and then you can read some free comics that way. So you can get a little taste of what it's like to use the DC Infinite app, or DC Universe Infinite. Obviously, they got Batman gear. They got Batman podcasts, if you're into that. And then there's movies and TV, Aztec Batman, Clash of the Empires. think that's on HBO Max. You do have a Lego Batman official trailer, so that's come out. Here's some of the DC books you can read on the Universe Infinite app, right? So you got Batman Year One, Batman Hush, Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Ego and Other Tales, and Batman The Killing Joke. What is up? What is up? Well, Naman, are you going to work on your cover today? How is that going? And I need to actually start working on my heart for C3 because I need to get that out the door pretty soon. So, pretty cool stuff for Batman Day. At the very least, I know one of my comic shops is doing 20% off for Batman Day. So also keep that in mind that LCSs may make it into more of an event than you expect and cut you deals on items for Batman Day. All right. We spent about 20 minutes on Batman Day. That's pretty cool. The next item I want to talk about, I guess, is kind of a mix of cards and Spider-Man, or a collectible card game, if you will. Let's see if I thought I had looked up. It's probably because my spelling is horrible when I was spelling stuff. So here we go. I found the link earlier and then I closed the page right before we came on. So let's see. Why can't I find it? Go back. Nope. I clicked too far. So anyway, Magic the Gathering is coming, is releasing a Spider-Man set. So Spider-Man is coming to Magic the Gathering. And they are releasing it at a Florida location, right? So you got the Disney World, and then there's Disneyland. And then they're doing a location in London. And it turns out that they're doing a location in New York in Times Square. So what do we got? We got Magic the Gathering, Marvel's Spider-Man swings into Disney retail stores. And as you can see here, get ready to celebrate the launch of Magic the Gathering, Marvel's Spider-Man, with 4 special retail launch events at select Disney stores and Disney parks on September 19th. Your friendly neighborhood Magic set is swinging into Times Square, New York, Oxford Street, London, the World of Disney at Disney Springs, Florida, and the Avengers Reserve in downtown Disney. All right, so yeah, these are near Disney Springs, actually. I don't know how close that is to Disney World, but downtown Disney, California is pretty close to Disneyland. Attendees can purchase products before the official release, enjoy welcome deck giveaways, so there will be freebies, and more. Programming varies by location. These events are complimentary, so mark your calendars and plan to swing on by. All right. All right, Jean. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Don't beat yourself up too much about your Spider-Man blind bag. The only way that story gets worse is if you told me you pulled like one of the 1 in 500s or something like that. But hopefully you have a great night and you get a good night's sleep. All right. And enjoy dinner, whatever dinner ends up being. I had such a heavy lunch today that I did not eat a proper dinner tonight. I had some cheese puffs or something for dinner, but it was it was like a huge chicken wrap, BLT chicken wrap with like fries, and it was just such a huge order, which it should be because it was like 20 something dollars. That's what happens when you eat in New York City. Um, that I've just been full, or had the feeling of being full all day, and so I was like, let me just try to eat some of these cheese puffs from Trader Joe's, and I ate a few more than I thought I would, but it ruined my meal it ruined my appetite for the whole day. The Rising Rhino is in the house. What's up, Rising Rhino? I don't have a rhino noise. I don't even know what a rhino makes. Right? Is that a rhino noise? So I don't know what a rhino makes. Like, because when like Kenneth Bird comes in Birdman, I go, what's up, Birdman? But for you, I don't have that. I mean, for Namen, we got the wolf. Oh, which I had a soundboard hooked up the other day. I'm not using it tonight. And I was able to do a really good wolf noise. Like, so good, we should probably cut it, paste it. So, squeaks like a rhino. So, Rising Rhino's in the house. So, yeah, right. Rhino over here, he does play Magic the Gathering, or at times we will play when we get together. We don't play as much as we used to, but they're doing a Spider-Man set, and they have Ghost Spider in there, right? They have Spider-Gwen in the set. So here's the play boosters. Disney Store, Times Square, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I am thinking about going. It's going to be probably a nut house, but why not? Might just take a trip out there and see what it's about, what to expect, early shopping opportunity, be the first to purchase Magic the Gathering, Marvel Spider-Man play boosters, collector boosters, bundles, and more while supplies last. Promo card with purchase. Attendees will receive a special promo card while supplies last with the purchase of any Magic the Gathering Marvel Spider-Man product. Artist signing, special guest Sarah Finnegan. The artist behind the Spiderweb basic lands will be in attendance. Sarah will be available for meet and greets and card signings from 1 to 4 p.m. They will also be giving away welcome decks. Right here, you see they got Spider-Gwen. I know the Rhino likes her. They got Miles. They got Spidey. They got Spider-Man 2099, and you got some Venom. So they'll be giving away complimentary welcome decks. They're kind of like basic cards that kind of teach you the game. And then this is the comic. It looks like a card, right? But this is the comic. This is a complimentary copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1. First come, first serve basis while supplies last. So that's pretty cool. They're going to have that. So I'm going to try to get there. Also, I'm going to be live streaming with Rising Rhino from the line while I wait. So that'll keep me occupied between the hours of 7 and 8 while we're waiting online to get into the Disney Store to try to get some of this stuff. All right. So that'll be really cool because I'll be talking some fantasy football while I'm there. And then after that, I'll probably record some content for the channel. So it should be a fun time. And then after that, who knows, grab some breakfast or lunch, depends how long it takes me to get out of there. And yeah, we'll have a good time. Let's see. Oh, Spider-Gwen. Yeah. She's in the set. We have Spider-Gwen in the set. Let's see. If I bring this over here, I do have the capability to zoom in. There you go. Spider-Gwen, Venom, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, and you got Pete over there, the regular Spidey. So good stuff. And then I moved the screen and it all went to, I should have, I can't resize it on that screen. So we're going to bring it back over here and we're going to bring this back to normal. And then technology, yeah. Put that back there. So those are some of the cool items they will have up for grabs. New York City, Times Square, this Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Magic the Gathering and Marvel team up for a Spider-Man set. The wolf was good, but I like tonight's wolf. Very organic. Oh, thanks, Naman. When's the pre-release and the actual release? So the pre-release actually starts this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you go to your local card shop, they should have pre-release kits. Usually includes 6 packs of cards, a promo card in the kit, and the die, collectible die. So yeah, that's what you can look forward with that. They usually also have the a regular bundle, which is 8 to 9, I think, set boosters in there. I'm not quite sure what the number is these days. It seems to change with every set, but you get packs of cards. Again, you'll get a die. You get a box that it comes in. So that's pretty cool. And then I think there's there might be one other item in there. And you get some foil lands. I think you do get a promo card. And then their play boosters also come out this weekend. So those are kind of the items you can purchase. I do think they list some of them here. Oh, and they'll have collector boosters. Collector boosters are insane, guys. A collector booster box is about $460. It has premium cards in it. Means a regular pack is probably running you 20 some odd dollars. Insane cards in those boxes, though. So it's a crazy thing. Those collector boosters. So that's insane. But you get some insane cards in there. There was the Final Fantasy set came out, and there were some cards in there worth thousands of dollars. It's just ridiculous. But you can also get like a big dud. I mean, if you buy a box, you get a chance at bigger cards. But I haven't really seen any prices yet on what these cards are going for. So insane. Daggers in the house. Yo, yo, yo. And then actual release will be the following week after that. So this Friday, the 19th, will be pre-release, and you'll have these products. And then all stores will have all the other products starting the next Friday, which is the 26th. And that'll probably include things like the Commander decks and all this other stuff. Pre-release is usually reserved for those stores that do Magic the Gathering events, including live tournaments and stuff like that. So, but this set should be outrageous. Like people I think are just going to go crazy for it. Rhino sounds like squeaky elephant. Oh. That was probably horrible. Rhino does have a good screech. All right, so that was the comic news, guys. We're about half hour into the show, so those are the things. Again, we covered Batman Day, which is this Saturday, and the Spider-Man event, which is this Friday. You're a good screech. Thank you. All right, let's get into the comics. It's that time. It's time to get into the comics. Let's do it. Let's go. First off, we have Zdarsky comic news. What's funny about this is this actually shows up on things like cover prices, new comic book day list, and also the League of Comic Geeks when they list their comics. This is just now becoming ingrained with New Comic Book Day, Zdarsky Comic News. No more Reign in Gotham. Matt Fraction took over the book, right? Chip Zdarsky is off the book. And here you can see that's Matt Fraction right there. He's sunny. He's having a good day. And then back there is is Chip Zdarsky getting rained on in that one and only spot in his Robin costume and his skivvies, which is funny because he's making fun of himself in his own magazine here. Again, this is free, so go ahead and pick it up from your local comic shop. This one is really all about Batman. They do have an interview in here with there's a Matt Fraction interview, and then there's a Jorge Jimenez interview. There we go. They show you all the different Robins that have worked with Batman and who Jorge Jimenez has worked with on the book and how many issues, right? So he's worked with James Tynion for 32 issues, Chip Zdarsky for 33 issues, and now Matt Fraction. Question mark on how many issues, but they've definitely done one because Batman #1 came out. They also have an interesting graph in this book that shows how many times Batman's been rebooted versus how many times Spider-Man has been rebooted. And as you can see here, Batman does start well before Spider-Man, and we have a long period of just regular Batman titles. Meanwhile, by that point, Spider-Man had already been rebooted it's like twice. Yeah, only twice. But then in the last few years, we've had Spider-Man rebooted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and Batman during that time has had 2 reboots for a total of 4 volumes of Batman and 7 volumes of Spider-Man. Just some interesting information regarding how many times they've rebooted. My camera didn't want to focus on me there. All right. You're a squeaky elephant. Don't quit your job. Apparently. Don't quit your day job, Will. All right. Apparently, I am not a good rhino. So, free. Yes, please. Well, his soundboard is off today. It is off. Actually, it's over here. It's just not connected. But if I do this, you might be able to hear something. So, he's just a bit off. That happens a lot after he shaves his beard off. The beard is what gives me my powers. Without my beard, I am nothing. All right, what do we have here? All right, so we got the Ultimates number 16. I haven't read it yet. I did pick it up today. Here you go. You got the crowd going crazy. There are people who collect covers that have cell phones on it. So this could be considered a cell phone cover. It's a thing. People do it. Samson will, right? Or it was like cutting my beard off. Was that like Achilles? Like I lost my powers. Beard power. Fear the beard. All right, so here is the book. We got a teacher being abducted in this. Good artwork. Dennis Kemp, right, was on this issue. I like the artwork. If you haven't been reading the Ultimate Universe, The Maker, right, the evil Reed Richards creates or recreates the Ultimate Universe. And essentially, the Ultimates, kind of the Ultimate Universe's version of the Avengers. and they are trying to come up with a plan to stop the Maker, right? This is kind of like the secret police of the Ultimate Universe. All their faces are blurred out. It's just weird. They're just, no matter what, where they are at, they've just got blurred out faces. Here's a better picture of that. So, some interesting stuff. I do believe we get a new character in this book, and they do they hurt themselves or they get hurt pretty bad in this, and then we'll see what happens. Definitely a good read. I would say Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine, and the Ultimates are the best series out there. Ultimate Black Panther and Ultimate X-Men are also good series. But that's just my preference, are these three books. So the Ultimates, Ultimate Wolverine, and then Ultimate Spider-Man is the top. Don't date Delilah. Next up, this I guess can be considered a yellow cover. I'm getting James to do me a Green Lantern sketch cover for next month. Hopefully, I get it back in time for my birthday. Birthday, I want to party like it's your birthday. Yeah, I hope so too. That'd be an awesome, like, little self gift. All right. This is an Image comic. This is an indie. So Image is indie. We got Jerry Dugan, Kelvin Mao, Robert Wyndham, Jay Lee, and Jun Chung on this book. This is called This Ends Tonight. It's an interesting book because each episode has, or each issue has characters that cross paths, but they follow one main group of characters, and then the other characters are like in the background. And then the next issue, they kind of swap, and the background characters are now the main characters, and the main characters from the first issue are now like the background characters. So it's a pretty cool way of doing this comic. Jerry Dugan's a pretty good writer, and this is it's a yellow cover, if you will. Got a little blood spatter on the back. Got some ninja chicas on the front, and yeah, Jay Lee does most of the interior, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. I don't want to show all the good stuff, but they are in Vegas. Who likes Vegas? I like Vegas. So I find that to be pretty cool. Let's see. There are definitely some pages that you probably just shouldn't show. But here's like a little montage of the interior. So This Ends Tonight. It's been a fun read because you are seeing these different characters that they're following. And then you do see the characters from the last issue, but they're like in the background. It is just really a fun way to do it. When is your date of birth? When were you born, Dagger? The birthday stream will be fun. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go with the birthday stream. Let's go. I'm perfect now. I'm born on 10 of 10. CGC 10. Pristine gem mint. 10 of 10 on the card rating. PSA. Two nice back ends on the front. Yes. In case you didn't know what he was talking about. You can't show everything. What happens in Vegas. Right? 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 All right. I read issue 1 of this book, but I haven't read issue 2 or 3. I should. This is a Spawn Universe title called Bloodletter. All right. Um, yeah, I need to read it. I read issue 1 and it's actually pretty good. This Bloodletter character kind of has a vendetta against Spawn, but when Spawn was Al Simmons doing his, military underground stuff, that is the Spawn she's got a problem with. This Spawn, well, that's the character guy she has a problem with. That was Al Simmons, and then Al Simmons eventually becomes Spawn. But Bloodletter knew Spawn when he was Al Simmons doing wet work under government agency stuff. So that's what we got going on in this book. So we do actually see Spawn pop up in this book at times. Look, I'll open it here. So this is a title that actually in the Spawn universe that actually has Spawn. So I've been collecting Salmon Twitch. I haven't really read all of it, but I haven't seen Spawn show up in that, right? Then there's Rat City. That's like a future Spawn, but we don't get Al Simmons in that, right? There's been a few others. There was Medieval Spawn. That was a 4-issue mini. You don't see Spawn in that one. There was Violator. Not really sure you saw Spawn show up in that. There's Gunslinger Spawn. Maybe a couple of issues. Spawn showed up there. There's Tales of the Gunslinger. Does not show up in that book, but Spawn shows up in this one. So there's The Curse of Shirley Johnson. Don't really think Spawn shows up in that book. And then there are other books he shows up in, right? King Spawn, Inferno. Is it Inferno? But yeah. Just saying, nice pair of 10s. Oh no. I can't wait to get my Spawn sketch cover stab that Ken drew for me at Comic-Con here in Ottawa. That's cool. And it's cool that you're gonna get it. Even though the con is over. You still have the means to get it. Gunslinger for the win. Gunslinger is a cool Spawn. I like him. I like him a lot. All right, what else we got? We got Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 38. Miles is dealing with some criminals, some thieves, if you will, in Spider-Man Miles Morales. He's working with Misty May, who's a detective, if you will, and she's got a bionic arm. Pretty cool character. And then Miles is having issues with one of the thieves because the thief has powers that operate off of luck, or actually they operate more by giving people around him or her, not quite sure, bad luck. So that's where Miles comes in, grabbing Black Cat. And, one, to understand how to stop the criminals, but also two, how do you use the power of luck against this character that feeds off giving other characters bad luck? Because Black Cat's power, the character who has the gives the bad luck, is White Cat, and Black Cat kind of feeds off of good luck. So very much like Domino does. Here's a nice close up with Miles. There's some character in here who I don't know who they are. There's some more pages. So I've been digging Miles for a while. It was probably my favorite Spider-Man book. Since then, it's evened out, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, man, I need to get him to sign his Spawn covers too. It's funny that he put a tombstone of Todd on the back cover. That was pretty cool. That is pretty awesome when you can when you get those neato little things included. That's pretty dope. Kirby's in the house. What's up, Curbs? Under the cowl of MS in his house. Hey, Kirby, in case you didn't know, which I'm pretty sure you do, because you're pretty well informed, Saturday is Batman Day. So I know one of my shops out here is doing like 20% off for Batman Day. And then Midtown Comics in the city is also doing a Batman sale. But I won't be going all the way to Manhattan for that. All right. Here's a book that I personally have been enjoying reading every issue of. This is The Incredible Hulk. Philip Kennedy Johnson doing this one. It is a good horror book. All right. And it may be the best pound for pound horror book on the comic market. I don't even know what that is. That's just gore and flesh and something trying to eat. I mean, I think it's just trying to eat people. What is happening? What is going on? So it is a dark landscape. Basically, the Hulk goes down below. There was a whole story about the down below. And it's not a good place. It was kind of the place where these gamma creatures all went, before they got resurrected. There's all sorts of stuff happening here. You got Brother Voodoo down for the count right there. Yeah, The Incredible Hulk. It's a really good read. If you're looking for a horror book, I definitely recommend The Incredible Hulk. All right, moving on. Baroness may have bitten off more than she can chew, but we got G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Number 11. Going to check the shop to see if they do anything, but they are slackers. Need to go to Oshkosh or Green Bay for the better shops. Gotcha. Yeah, I have 2 local comic shops within relatively good distance. One is like 5 minutes from my house. The other one's about 25 minutes away. The one that's 25 minutes away usually does a little better with the events. And the other one is, it's a small shop. So not like super small though. It's got some room to it and a good selection of books. It's just one guy who runs it. He does have 2 other guys who work there, 2 assistants. But for the most part, it is a one-man show. So sometimes, and they got kids. They have 2 kids. They do have a wife, but sometimes he falls behind, so he does slack. So sometimes it's just better to head to the other shop, just for event-wise. But I think book-wise, they're both really good shops. But yeah, I think everybody knows at least one comic shop that may have a little bit of a slack. And the guy at the shop, I don't want to call him a slacker. He's a hard worker. Just sometimes the events aren't eventy. Jeff Isherwood did a G.I. Joe sketch cover of Vincent D'Onofrio from Full Metal Jacket, but we missed him at his last signing. That's right. You told me the whole story of how you tried to, or how he really, really tried to get Vincent D'Onofrio to sign the book, but you guys couldn't find him. So that's rough. So this has been I think about this might be the 4th issue. So G.I. Joe, right? They got their butts kind of handed to them by Cobra, and Baroness was like, "Man, I need some time away," and they gave her some time away, and her and Blood have been fighting for like 3 issues now, like just back and forth. Also, we do have a Transformer in G.I. Joe, so that's pretty cool. Little crossover action, if you will. Yeah, so here we got a fight happening here. Fighting. Look, he gets a little blood on his blade. It's like, Also, the reason he's missing his eye is because of Baroness, right? So he's pretty upset about that. He's not going to let her live it down. So, and then we got Cover Girl over here fighting this guy. I forget his name, but he controls. He's got the Falcons and Falconer. I don't know. Oh no. Okay, we won't show this page. Oh, Destro makes an appearance in the book. Destro's been kind of mad at Cobra because Cobra Commander has been like hiding some stuff from him, and he's like, "Come on, man!" And yeah, here they are. They're coming back to base. Looks like just a normal day of shopping. So GI Joe, already on issue number 11. Pretty good. Joshua Williamson writing it. I can't wait for New York Comic Con. It's about 3 weeks away now, so that'll be awesome. All right. This I got to break the scissor out for. But we've got Exquisite Corpses. This is the C cover, and it comes with a collector's card. Contains a unique collectible trading card. Apparently, there's going to be an Exquisite Corpses card game later next year. Let's see. Here we go. I will have to put that video on my channel one day. Jeff Lurie took the book behind the blue curtain to get it signed and shown. Yeah, that's right. He went into the land of like VIPs, right? Cobra, la 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 la. What's up, Bobby? Bobby De La Ghetto in the house, everybody. He's clumsy with blades, it seems. Yes. Don't get stabbed by blood over there. Everybody saying what's up. Don't cut the cover, Will. Steady. Yeah, man, John Marlowe cut it on Show Me What You Got. So yeah. See, I already like, it's empty unless it's one of those invisible covers that CGC was slapping for bad idea. All right. So what's cool is they do ship this with, I don't know why, but it's almost like a backboard. And then there's your collector's card. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Come on. Oh no. All right, let's slowly extract the book from its plastic bag. There we go. All right, so here's the card. So I've been getting these for a while, and this is Layla Blaze. And the cards do have statistics and skills. This skill is Wildfire. So deals 3 damage to 2 killers at random. This includes Layla Blaze. So there you go. Looks like it has an attack, a block, right? A, B, and then hit points would be H. So that's cool. So normally what I do with these is I take the insert, I put that in the back of the board. Then I will throw the card in there. Of course, I put it in backwards. So I like to have the character facing out. And then I will read this comic. The sooner we're out of here, the sooner I'll probably read it. And then the cover So the covers have been kind of in this theme. See Lila Blaze throwing up the salute. So that's pretty cool. Yep, he had that VIP access. It would have been sweet if he had got it done. Yeah, get it done, boy Shane. Did you actually watch the episode? I have to go. I have to go back and actually watch it. I also finally got in touch with Richard, the Captain Canuck creator today. He will be mailing me my Captain America, Captain Canuck sketch soon. Oh, that's pretty dope. Blaze, just Blaze. Yeah, back cover. And then this has been a pretty good story. So all these groups of people who in this comic run the world, right? Send a bunch of killers into a small town, cut off all communication to the outside, and then just go to town. For the most part, they're supposed to kill each other, but these are psychopaths, right? So there is collateral damage. People in the town do end up getting hurt. Not all of them are horrible people like these killers. Some of them don't actually abuse the people in the town, but they do use them. They'll use them for a ride. You know, they'll befriend them and help them to get to. There's caches of weapons that they have to get to, so they'll use them in ways to get stuff. There is an EMT who kind of gets caught up in everything. She sees her partner basically get disemboweled, so that's rough. I can show you some gore. This guy gets beheaded, and there he is. And there she's throwing up. So this book isn't for the faint of heart. Definitely not a kiddie book, if you will. So yeah, don't let your kids read it. Oh, and the other thing is it's kind of happening around Halloween. So nobody really knows what's going on because everybody's dressed up, going to parties and having a good time. Getting that candy. Let's see. What pages can we show? Well, town's on fire and you can't escape. And yeah, it's kind of tournament style. So as the killers get eliminated or eliminate themselves, yeah, you get them crossed off in the back of the book. So Exquisite Corpses number 5. James Tynion and Belair book. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. There's still a ton of killers left. And I think this series started with, I want to say 11 or issue 5. And maybe only 3 or 4 died. So let's see how long they milk this cover for. Yup. So sad. Later. We'll see you later, Naman. You gonna work on your cover tonight? If you haven't left yet, you can let us know. But thank you for being here. I think that means you're leaving, right? Later. Or does that mean later? We're doing something later. All right, we got Amazing Spider-Man number 12. There are a bunch of spider peeps on the cover. So what we learned in last issue, guys, and if you haven't read the last issue, I'm about to spoil some stuff for you. So go ahead and mute me for like the next 30 seconds. Otherwise, you're going to hear some stuff about the book if you plan on reading it that you may want to just find out yourself. All right, I'm going to start. So Spidey, right, ends up fighting this guy Hellgate. All hell breaks loose, if you will. And so Spidey kind of gives up the game, or at least that's what it appears like. Norman Osborn knows that the city needs a Spider-Man more than needs a Goblin, and he kind of takes up the mantle of Spider-Man. At the same time, you have Ben Reilly, right, who's now Chasm, Spider-Man clone, who takes up the mantle of Peter Parker. So Both these guys are filling in, which leaves us wondering what happened to Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man wakes up on some planet somewhere, and he gets picked up by an alien. He gets a new suit, and then finds out the alien is not all he appears to be. He's a bad guy and wants to keep Spidey as a pet, if you will, and the other guys, test subjects or slaves. So yeah, it got real interesting real fast. So with this cover, I'm assuming they kind of need to figure out why Spidey is being, they don't know that, that it's not the real Spidey. That's fine, Naman. You can play it up. You can play it all you want. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, diddy, whoop. Yeah, no, go ahead. Throw it up on there. I don't care. So, hey, Rich, look, we got another Spidey Gwen. She's got a new costume, by the way, all black. So the Rhino likes Spidey Gwen. So anyway, you got all these Spider-Men jumping Spidey. So let's take a look at what's inside of this book. So they do give you the cast of characters, by the way. And what do we got? We got Peter at his new job. He's been working there, working 9 to 5. Now here, see that Spider-Man? He's got red eyes. What's up with that? He's a very evil Spider-Man. And then you got like all the Spider crew that are like, yo, what's up? Why are you beating on people? Let's see, what do they say? You've been causing a stir wearing a spider on your chest. You don't get to do that. Yeah, thanks for being D tier so I can play too. Spider Boy, sorry, that's me. C tier. You're gonna let the big kids talk now? Yeah, sure. Sorry, Aranya. Stay cool. I don't give you a web cocoon. Basically, they're all just yelling at the not Spidey. So it looks like they're trying to find out what the deal is. Obviously, unless there's a brouhaha, not an exciting meetup between all these characters. Skip a few pages. We're still doing the fight scene here. We're still battling. Oop. Norman got somebody by the neck. And we kind of get some resolution. And then I'll save the last page. Try not to give it away. But we do get Roderick Kingsley at the end. For those of you who do not know who Roderick Kingsley is, he's the Hobgoblin. All right, we talked a little bit about Disney earlier. Well, here's a Disney cover for you. It's one of those what ifs. The Fantastic Four, The Lost Adventure. What if? This is actually issue number 3 of the Fantastic Four series, the new one. This kind of ties in to the Doom, One World Under Doom. There you go. There's a little Doom action. Doom. And ooh, that is. All right, so Mr. Fantastic, we all know, has stretchy powers. Here in this panel, he is stretching his eyeball out. You can see that. So he's got some ocular nerve. But yeah, we have the whole One World Under Doom series that's been going on. So Doom kind of played Mr. Fantastic. He set him back in time. He sent all the Fantastic Four to different parts of time. They all get back together. They face off against Doom. Mr. Fantastic kind of tells him what happened and how he fixed it. And then Dr. Doom's like, haha, joke's on you. He's basically got like save points that he can go back to, just like a video game. And he does it again, but he erases their way to escape. But Mr. Fantastic kind of figures something out right before the end of it. This was the last issue. And then we're tossed into this issue 3 of the Fantastic Four. So, pretty good stuff. Fantastic Four. It's been a pretty good book so far, but it hasn't really wowed me. It's been more of a tie-in to One World Under Doom than its own separate book. So we'll wait till One World Under Doom is over, and then we'll see what we get with the Fantastic Four book. I picked up that Fantastic Four cover. Yeah, they're pretty dope. I've been picking up a lot of the Disney, what if covers that, are homages, to earlier covers. Doom, all caps. One word, 4 letters. Doom. Here we go. We got Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. There you go, Dagger. It's a Gunslinger book for you. Deadly Tales is, so we have Gunslinger Spawn, which is happening in the current Image Spawn universe, and then Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger is his origin story. So this is bringing us back to the early days of the Gunslinger Spawn. Considered one of the weaker powered spawns, but also one of the more deadlier spawns, right? He doesn't really hold back in battle. And even though you may, a lot of guys have come close to finishing the Gunslinger, killing off the Gunslinger Spawn. If you let him live, he will find a way to retaliate. Jimmy Palmiotti is on this book. So they've given it a good writer. And I will say it is one of the better written Spawn books. The artwork has been okay. I wouldn't say it's good. So I don't want to say it's bad. And there have been different artists on the book. So this may be a different artist. Yeah, I feel like this is a different artist than what we've had in a couple of the other books. So let's see what we have here. Oh, there is a bum right there. So this book just got risque. It's the gunslinger doing that gunslinger thing that he does. Blam, blam. Blam, blam. And what's happening over here? Gunslinger in the bed. So, it looks like they found something. So Gunslinger Spawn, pretty good. Pretty good book, pretty good origin story, if you will. He's seeking revenge on those. The story is, they kill his sister and he's seeking revenge on those poor, unfortunate souls who's killed his sister. Jimmy scripting Blue Falcon Dynamite. Oh, that's cool. What was that line? Real life, call me Five Dog, but on stage, call me Dynamite. When was the last time you sailed the Piper? Cocky, lyrics, anonymous, stop moving. Trying to remember some, man, maybe that's like Kryptonite and Superman. So come in, Five Dog with the sugar cuts. Five Dog's my name, but on stage, call me Dynamite. There you go. I think I got the lyrics coming. They're coming back very slowly. Very slowly. The Curse of Shirley Johnson, another Spawn Universe title. That was a Tribe Called Quest. That was me attempting to rap to a Tribe Called Quest. Shirley Johnson was a character out of Spawn issue 5. All right. And then we didn't hear about her until the release of this book. The little girl's been stuck in a loop in hell. And this is about her story. I think finally breaking free of that with the help of a stranger. And, I have no idea why the little girl who gets murdered in issue 5 of Spawn gets sent to hell, but it happens. And now she's discovering, she's got some powers. She's got a friend who's helping her. And I guess we're finding out how and why all this is happening. So, The Curse of Shirley Johnson. I want to say this is it's not an ongoing series. I say it's a mini. So we'll see where it ends. All right, we got a few more books. All right, I was thinking about saving this for the end, but we'll just do it now. I couldn't help myself. I don't think it's worth the price, right? So this is the Sound Chip Void Rivals book. This is a reprint of Transformers #1. $20, 1999. This book, 1999. Again, I don't think it was worth that, but I also couldn't resist just buying one so we can open this together. It is in a resealable bag, so you don't have to per se break the seal. You don't have to cut it out. So let's see. Right? I know. I don't know. I wasted $20. But I did sell some books at a yard sale the other day. So since I sold some books at a yard sale the other day, I allowed myself to purchase this book. I used the hobby to fund the hobby. So, but yeah, I agree with you. $20. Transformers Void Rivals #1 Sound Chip Edition. Transformers. Let's see. Does it make a noise when you open it? Okay, it makes a noise. There's like a little safety insert here. I guess that keeps it from damaging the comic. You can see here, there's like a little dirt. It's a little bit of dirt on it over here. So that's probably what kept the sound chip from damaging the inside of the book. Oh, and you know what? This isn't the Transformers one. I bought the wrong one. The Optimus Prime is in a red bag. This is Void Rivals #1. So I got the wrong book. All right. So I got Void Rivals #1. Nobody bought Void Rivals. So this isn't even the Optimus Prime one. But anyway, I was wondering why when I well, it's already stopped working, apparently. There it is. So this is the Void Rivals #1, not the Transformers. This is the Jetfire cover. I wanted the Optimus Prime, which is red and then white. But whatever. It worked. It works when it wants to. There we go. All right. So we'll put the little insert back in. And then we'll put it back in its bag. Transformers. Autobots waging their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Void Rivals. It actually says it right here. It says Void Rivals. I don't know why I didn't even notice that when I picked it up. I was just looking at the symbol and I grabbed the Void Rivals. Anyway, not the end of the world. It's still an Autobot cover. I just wanted the Optimus Prime version, which is just the same symbol, just red and white. Selling books. Yeah, I got like over 8,000 comic books. And not that I want to sell them, but and some of the money went to the public library. So good cause. But it's not that I want to sell the books. It's that I need to make room. And so one of the tenets sometimes of collecting is you gotta use the hobby to fund the hobby, right? Instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the hobby, you buy something, you enjoy it for a little bit, and then you ship it off and you let somebody else enjoy it, and you take that money and use that money to buy the next thing. So that's kind of what we did there. All right, next up we have No Man's Land. And the thing about this book, right, is one, you've got this sound chip in here, right? It's not even a good sound chip, right? They charge you $20 for it. Works when it wants to. It's eventually, right, with all the pressing on the book, I think I'm just going to put this book like on the wall somewhere, and it's going to become a display piece. Because with all the pressing on this book, right, that this sound chip is going to indent the comic, right? It's going to damage the comic. The battery is going to run out. At some point, that battery in here, right, there's a battery, this energizing, energon, right? This book, that is going to possibly explode. I mean, hopefully it doesn't, but it may leak some battery acid. Nothing about this book says collectible, like, and it's $20. Like, this book should be a throwaway. Like, to me, unless you really pay close attention to it, there's no way to keep this book brand new for the next however many years you want to have it. So it's fun, it's gimmicky. I got one. I bought the wrong one because I can't read. It says Void Rivals, not Transformers. Whatever. Heck yeah, make the hobby pay for itself. Hypnotized by the red shiny, right? I got hypnotized. I know, but I get what they call seller's regret. I know, me too. I mean, I do have a lot of books though. So yeah, are there some books that I'm gonna sell that later on I'll be like, oh, I wish I still had it? Yes. But at the end of the day, I still got the books that mean more to me. So, got my Spidey collection. I got, my Batmans, I got my Supermans. So I got some good stuff. It's just, yeah, there's always going to be a book that you're like, wish I still had it. Yeah, what I didn't realize, like selling at a flea market, it's like there are people who will buy. I had variant covers, and I'm like, man, the variant cover game is not dead, but I was like, it's waning. And I had some variant covers that were like still going on the market for a solid 20, 30, 40 bucks. And some people just still bought them. I even slashed prices on them, but I didn't slash them that much. I slashed some. Then I had dollar books too. Don't get me wrong. I had a ton of dollar books, but I slashed prices on some of these variants to like $10. They were like $40, $30 books. And once I slashed them to $10 on some of these variants, people were just snatching them up. So, and you know what? They were books that I liked them, but they weren't doing anything in the collection. So that book's a biohazard, right? I mean, there's some stuff. It's I mean, it's got a battery in it, right? So yeah, I don't know what to do with it. Like I said, I'm might just throw it on the wall and call it a day. Make a little display out of it. All right, here's an interesting series out of Image. You know, I buy books sometimes to I try to read every book I buy. Sometimes I fail, fall behind. But this is called No Man's Land. And so basically there is this happens during the Cold War. This is cover E, which looks a lot like cover A, honestly, just a lot less trade on this one. But cover A looked a little bit like this. So yeah, here you'll see what I'm talking about. This is for next week, but this is cover A, and then this is cover B. So A, D, excuse me. So we got A and we got D. And D's the one I got. You can see like the title is a little less visible, right? It's squeezed. And then this is more of a sepia tone or yellow tone. And cover A is like all white. And then we have a Silence of the Lambs on cover B. This is next week's issue. I think this week they did a Hunt for Red October cover, which looked pretty cool. I'm back at Harvey's now. Yeah. Gonna get some food, some onion rings. I don't know. We get it at Harvey's. So yeah, Cold War. And there's like these two islands out here in the water. One's Alaskan, one's Russian territory. Alaska, I believe, Russia. And or did I get that backwards? I think it's backwards. Either way, trying to see if they actually tell you which one's which. And then everything's mirrored here anyway. There is a time period where it gets so cold that the water between the two land masses freezes and kind of joins both these islands together. Somebody ends up getting murdered pretty much on that. And then it's like KGB, FBI in the no man's land. And so it's like a criminal investigation about who actually has, who got murdered, why they get murdered, and who has jurisdiction over solving the murder. So just looks like it could be an interesting story. I'll read issue 1 and then decide if we proceed from there. So should be fun. I picked up the D cover just because it was like the same but different, just a little bit. Silence of the Lambs and a Fargo cover. Ah, yes. All right. All right. Yeah. And the Hunt for Red October. All right. Next up, we have this book called Voyeur. Wow. It's got the mature rating. And I will tell you that we saw some bums earlier. In this one, there may be some scantily clad lady in this one. So you got this guy who's a art thief. He steals real art and then replaces it, right, with some fake art. Looks like he tries to kind of pin it or, you know, set this lady up. What's her name? Madeline. I was gonna call her Marguerite. Name's Madeline. So he's got cameras set up everywhere, right? And he's like, and he actually works for the resort that he steals from. But he's got these cameras set up. He's monitoring everything, right? And then he gets busted. Like she's like, I see you. She finds him. I don't know how she figures out where the room is or, all that. And then she's pretty much like, don't watch me, watch the camera. And I was like, whoa. And then there's some stuff happening. And then there's some more stuff happening. No, not what you're thinking. And then this is the cover for issue 2. There's one scene here where he's yeah, but then he doesn't do anything. So it's called Voyeur. It's out of Ignition Press. They are brand new. Last week they dropped their first book. This is the second book in the line. I actually got the ash can of this book, Voyeur. So supporting them. I'll buy the ones. And their other book was pretty good. I'm trying to see if I have it around here. I don't, but it was pretty good. All right. This is Deadpool Batman #1, the variant edition. So what you got here is that classic Wolverine and Hulk cover homage, except you got Batman, holding up batarangs, and you see Deadpool through the cover. That was the variant I picked up. That one seems to be very popular. It sold out in one of my LCSs. So I picked one up. Seems to be a favorite of people. And then we got, and I may actually have an extra one. So we'll see. If I have an extra one, maybe somebody out there will be able to grab one. And then we have Deadpool Batman cover A. And this is the same cover they used for one of the preview magazines they did, where they just preview all the comics and they give it out for free. It's on the shelf. Got the Scotty Young and the blank. The blank's cool. It's the red blank cover. The Scotty Young, they actually had to change the cover of that one because they said it looked too much like a Pokeball, the original version of the Scotty Young. It's on the internet. But they said that it looked too much like a Pokeball, like Marvel Legal. So they asked Scotty Young to redo it and make, so one side looks a little bit more like Batman. So, yeah, Scotty Young getting censored. Yeah, so Batman, Deadpool Batman. There's some good stories. Deadpool Batman was interesting. Merc with the Mouth and Batman, just to see them interact, using gadgets and gizmos. And he basically neutralizes Deadpool in a couple of seconds and then tricks Deadpool into believing, so Deadpool then, ends up in the Batmobile. It's like, oh, I'll help you. And Batman tells him later, like, I wasn't falling for it. You got Greg Capullo doing it. So you got, that Greg Capullo Joker, that haircut. I think the Joker actually looks menacing with like the shaved sides. Is a better picture of that. It's got the head side of the head shaved and then the full head of hair on top. Kind of a menacing haircut for the Joker. Deadpool gets some Joker toxin. The Joker actually hired Deadpool to capture the Batman, and then there is a comedic moment at the end with Deadpool. But yeah, I'll let you read the rest when you get a chance. Then there's a universe where Wonder Woman and Captain America are on the same team and work together. This story I kind of liked. It kind of follows their trajectory, and then there's a little incident, and we have this not amalgam universe. We have this universe where Marvel characters and DC characters all work together, and that was pretty cool. There's a Crypto and Shark, Jeff the Shark story. So that's fun. That's cute, right? So we get Daredevil and Green Arrow story. So that's interesting. Here's the splash page. So that was fun. They end up in Manhattan, Hell's Kitchen, work together as a team, and save the day. We get a Green Lantern story and Rocket Raccoon. So Rocket over here becomes the Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern Corps is like, hey, can you pick up your buddy? And then over here, Green Lantern gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and they're just like, yeah, let's just trade. Let's trade back, because these guys are crazy. Lockjaw over Crypto, right? Right? You gonna get Batman Deadpool from the latest catalog? From the latest catalog. What? I'm not sure if I understand the question, but what I was saying earlier, I don't know if I was misunderstood, was the previews magazine had the same cover as this, and I just thought they put the previews back on the shelf, and then I was like, oh man, what's the previews doing out? And it actually ended up just being, it wasn't the previews, it was this. Frank Miller actually does the story. I don't know why I said that. So there is a funny moment. I got to share it with you. And you guys should read it, but I'm going to share the Rocket right here on this panel, right? So he's like, so you shot Sinestro in the face, and he's like, yeah, should I not do that? And he's like, we prefer you don't. And you see the gun smoking, and you see the yellow boots on the floor. That panel had me chuckling a little bit. I definitely was chuckling. Like I say, Frank Miller, did a couple of pages. Yeah, I don't know. Frank Miller is, I think he's not the same anymore. And I mean, I get it. He's a little older. Yeah, it just doesn't hit the same. Yes. Okay. So that was my other thought, is that later on, so Marvel did put out Deadpool Batman, and DC is doing Batman Deadpool in the September catalog. Um, yeah, so they're both doing right, right. They're just flipping. So yes, now I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, and I'm gonna get the DC one as well. And I think if I understand correctly, yeah, gonna order it soon, and it comes out in like November, something like that. So I get it now. And then at the end, they introduced this new character, Logo. They don't give you too much about it, just kind of a quick character introduction. It's got like these short Wolverine claws and Wolverine look, but it's Lobo esque, right? So Logan, I guess maybe that's what they call him, Logo. So we get a very, and I have to imagine that this story is going to be continued in the next right, in Batman Deadpool, right? So Frank Miller, yeah, I love Frank Miller. Met him a couple of times. I do think with the age and the wear and tear on his body, though, he's just not the same artist. But do love me some Frank Miller. Let's see if I can get in on this. His motorcycle actually says "Made in Canada." So for you Canadians, you got Batman Deadpool made in Canada. And so yeah, that was there you go. Yep. Yeah, I think it's a continuation. Yep. So yeah, those were the comics I picked up this week. So yeah, lots of goodies out there and a little made in Canada action. Yeah, so we definitely do like Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Oh, Scotty doesn't know. Oh. And then just to recap, right? Magic the Gathering is making a Spider-Man series, or made it. It's coming out this weekend's pre-release, so some stores will have some of the stuff, and then next week, all the stores that sell Spidey stuff should have it. And then also Batman Day. Batman Day is the Saturday, so go ahead and check out Batman Day. Yeah, and yeah, that logo character, I think it's definitely going to be in the DC version of the book. Never met Frank Miller, but I like to. Yeah, he's cool. He likes The Walking Dead, actually. I learned that when when I so I went to they had like I wouldn't say it was like a raffle, but it wasn't. It was like they had a bag of um like little gems, I guess you can call them, and there was like red ones and there were a bunch of black ones. And if you picked the red one, you got a ticket to meet Frank Miller. And my friend in front of me picked out a red one, and like each time somebody got one, there's only a limited amount. Ticket was gone, and so the odds of drawing back to back tickets were pretty bad. So like my friend got one, and he turned around, and I was like, the odds were just like, I'm not getting a Frank Miller autograph, and because I think there was only like 2 or 3 left too when I got up to to my turn, and my friend had just picked one out. So, and the bag was pretty full of duds. So I was just like, oh, I'm never getting in. Obviously, you know the story because I'm telling it. Dug my hand in, picked out a bean, and like opened it, and was totally expecting it to be one of those black beads, and it was a red one, and I was like, oh shit, it's a red one. But it was pretty cool. So I got I got to meet Frank Miller, and I got him to sign my con pass. So I have a Frank Miller signed New York Comic Con pass. But Yeah, it was cool. He talked to me for a little bit. You know, the handlers had to be like, all right, we got to keep the line moving. And what's funny is they don't really tell the talent. They're like, Frank, stop talking. You got to keep the line moving. They come up to like, you know, the person who's talking to them and they're like, yeah, we got to keep the line moving. So you got to keep walking. So, you know, they're basically like telling you to walk as you're like talking to Frank. So it's like, yeah, Frank, I'll talk to you later. Pleasure to meet you. So yeah, Frank Miller, cool cat. I had heard horror stories that he was really temperamental, walk off of lines and cut signings short. But I met him twice, and both times, um, he was he was a good guy, really good. You know, there. I mean, I guess as you get older, there's less things to be mad about, right? He's a legend of the game, so maybe he's just at a point in his life where he's had a retrospective or reflected on his life, and he's like, you know, it's not bad. So he's just nicer to people. Never tell me that Han Solo voice. Yes, yeah. So it was cool. I got the autograph. So and I got to meet him. So that was cool. All right. I think we're gonna come to an end. Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow I'll probably drop a short. It'll be something. Friday, you know, we'll try to hit up all the books I read. So I'll try to make sure you guys get that. Though Friday, I'm pretty busy. I'm gonna be I'm planning to go into the city to hit up this Spider-Man Magic the Gathering release event. So I'm gonna try to bring my camera with me, maybe do some live streaming from there. We'll see what happens. Um, but at the end of the day, um, I don't know if I'll have my new comic book haul and review out on Friday because we'll be doing that. We'll be live streaming while I'm in the city from 7 to 8. We'll be doing a fantasy football podcast that I've been doing with Rising Rhino, who is in here. Awesome host, co host. Um, so we're working together on that on Fridays from 7 to 8 a.m. On Rising Rhino's channel and mine, simulcasting. So if you're into fantasy football, come check it out. I don't tell too many people that because I'm in a lot of fantasy football leagues and I don't want them knowing what I'm thinking, you know, what I'm doing with my teams. So, but we'll share it. And then, yeah, we'll have Saturday. I'll probably drop my new comic book day haul video or Sunday. And then this Monday, we'll have to see because I am in, I'm going on a little mini vacay. So I'm going to be out of town on Monday. So we'll see if I actually have the streaming capability to do Monday Night Raw books. But we'll hit that up too. Um, so yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we are. No, the older you get, the madder you get. Get off my lawn! But I think Frank Miller was so mad when he was younger that he couldn't get any madder. That's what I understand. Like he was just cantankerous. Like he was mad. He was like angry at the world. So get off my lawn. The Chiefs, yes, the Chiefs will be playing the Giants on Sunday. So Chiefs Nation with this should be a game where they can get it right. They'll right the ship. Now I'm a Giants fan, being from New York, 100%. We had a pretty good game against the Cowboys, still lost, but yeah, this is definitely one of those games where the Chiefs should be able to right the ship. The Giants just they're not on the same level. But it is football. It is any given Sunday, so they have to show up and they have to make sure to play. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Chiefs Nation, you got a good shot. I do love me some Patty Mahomes. That's my homie. So that's Mahomes. But all right, guys, I think we're gonna call it But you know what? I think I do have a light here. I want to try it out. If I can actually get it plugged in. You guys haven't left yet. Still close. You waited all this time so I could drop this dime. Of course, it's all tangled too. If I can put it on the ceiling, there it is. Out of the fire, into the fire. Out of the fire, into the fire. Out of the fire, into the fire. All right, guys. That was fun. Hopefully it was worth the wait. Somebody like just tuned in, like wasn't watching the whole show until that moment, and was like, "Somebody needs to call the ambulance. Cuffy's stroking out." Like, but yeah, crazy. All right, love you guys too. Love you, Bobby. Love you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This has been New Comic Book Day. Why? Comic news. Don't forget to check out Batman Day. The LCS may be having a sale on books that day. A lot of them tend to do that. Kirby, I'm so sad you have to travel further if you want that. We got the dance party in. Right? All right, guys. Have a good night. It's been a good one. Peace, deuces, Ralph, Chink. Have a great day. Happy New Comic Book Day, guys. Love you all again. And Bobby, thank you for reminding me that, little love goes a long way. Peace out, everybody.